What if I told you one of the most famous Formula One drivers might be racing for the last time? That's right. Daniel Ricciardo, the guy with the big smile and crazy fast driving skills, might not race much longer. It's a huge shock to Formula One fans everywhere. So why is this happening? Daniel Ricciardo is loved by everyone. He's not only an amazing driver, but also someone who brings so much fun and excitement to the sport. Fans love him because he's always making jokes and staying positive. He's won big races before, and his moves on the track are legendary. But no matter how great you are, things can change quickly in Formula One. You see, Daniel hurt his hand while racing, and that injury might cost him more than just one race. While he was healing, another young driver, Liam Lawson, stepped in to replace him. Lawson impressed the team with how fast he was and how well he drove. Now, Daniel might lose his spot to Lawson for good. This is where Formula One gets really tough. No matter how good a driver is, if someone new and younger shows up and does a great job, teams start thinking about the future. It doesn't matter how many races you've won before. The teams always want someone fresh who they think can get even better. And now, there are whispers that Daniel might not race in Singapore, one of the most difficult races of the year. If Lawson races again and does well, it could be the end of Daniel's Formula One career. That's a hard thing to imagine for fans who've been watching him for years. Even Max Verstappen, Daniel's old teammate, has said that Daniel should be proud of what he's done, even if it's his last race. Coming from someone like Max, that's a big deal. But wait, it's not all bad news. Even if Daniel leaves Formula One, there are other places he could race. He said before that he just loves racing no matter where it is. So while it would be sad to see him leave Formula One, there's a chance we'll see him driving in other races around the world. Daniel's name will be remembered in Formula One history no matter what. He's won 8 races and stood on the podium 32 times. His fearless overtakes and his ability to brake late have given fans some of the most exciting moments in the sport. If Singapore is his last race, he's already made his mark. This isn't the first time Daniel has faced a tough decision. He left Red Bull to join Renault and later moved to McLaren, where things didn't work out as planned. He's had good times and bad times, but he's always stayed strong. But now, things feel different because this might be the end of his journey in Formula One. But there's still hope. Daniel could recover from his injury and come back to race. If he gets the chance to drive again and shows everyone what he can do, maybe his team will keep him. But with new drivers like Lawson stepping up, nothing is guaranteed. In Formula One, drivers face pressure every year to be the best. If they don't perform well, they could lose their seat to someone faster and younger. Daniel's team, AlphaTauri, is in a tough spot. Do they keep Daniel, who has tons of experience, or do they stick with the young and talented Lawson? It's a difficult choice. Formula One is more than just the drivers. It's also about strategy. Teams have to think about the long term. If they think Lawson can help them improve in the future, they might decide to keep him. But Daniel brings experience and leadership that's hard to replace. It all depends on what the team values more. One thing's for sure, though Daniel Ricciardo will always be loved by his fans. His fun personality and his ability to connect with people will be missed. Even if he leaves Formula One, his fans will follow him wherever he goes. Whether it's racing in another series, or maybe even becoming a commentator, Daniel's future is still bright. The next generation of drivers is already here, though. Young talents like Lawson and others are starting to make their mark. It's always hard to say goodbye to a fan favorite, but that's how the sport works. The future of Formula One is in good hands, even if Daniel's time is coming to an end. Daniel brought something special to the sport. His fearless driving style and his ability to make fans smile will be remembered for a long time. Even if he's not racing, his influence will be felt by the drivers who looked up to him, like Max Verstappen. As fans, all we can do now is support Daniel no matter what happens. Whether he stays in Formula One or moves on to something else, we'll always remember the amazing moments he gave us. Daniel might not be racing forever, but his spirit and passion will stay with us. Now let's talk about the impact this could have on the whole team. Daniel's experience is important to AlphaTauri. He's been in Formula One for a long time, and he knows what it takes to win races. If the team loses him, they might miss his advice and guidance. Sure, a younger driver like Lawson is fast, but can he bring the same knowledge and leadership? Imagine if you were part of a team and suddenly lost your most experienced player. It would be tough to adjust, right? That's what AlphaTauri could be facing. It's not just about speed on the track, it's about the entire package. Daniel's experience could be irreplaceable. Lawson is young and hungry for success. He wants to prove himself, and he's done a great job filling in for Daniel so far. If the team decides to stick with him, they might be thinking about the future. Maybe they see Lawson as someone who can grow with the team and become a star. But that means letting go of someone like Daniel, which is a hard choice to make. Another thing to think about is how this could affect Daniel personally. Racing has been his whole life, and suddenly not being part of it could be tough. Athletes often face challenges when it's time to step away from the sport they love. What will Daniel do next? Will he take a break, or will he jump into something else right away? Some drivers, when they leave Formula One, try other types of racing. There's Formula E, which is all about electric cars. Or there's endurance racing, where cars race for hours at a time. Daniel has options, but will any of them make him feel the same way Formula One does? We'll have to wait and see. Now let's go back to Lawson for a minute. This young driver has been making waves, and if he keeps performing well, he might get a permanent spot in Formula One. It's exciting to see new talent rising up. But for Daniel's fans, it's also a bit sad to think that his time in the spotlight might be over. And what about the team? They're in a tricky position. Do they stay loyal to Daniel, or do they move forward with Lawson? Every decision in Formula One is about winning. The teams want drivers who can help them get points, win races, and make the car better. It's a tough choice for AlphaTauri. If Daniel does leave Formula One, what will his legacy be? He's given fans so many great moments, from his famous overtakes to his big wins. Even if he doesn't race again, people will remember him as one of the best. And who knows, maybe one day he'll come back as a team leader or a coach for younger drivers. Lastly, we can't forget about the fans. Daniel has a huge fan base, and they'll be sad to see him go, but they'll also support him in whatever he does next. Whether it's racing in a different series or doing something completely new, Daniel will always have the backing of his fans. If you want to know what's next for Daniel Ricciardo, stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Let us know in the comments what you think will happen. Is Daniel going to stay in Formula One? Or is it time for him to start a new adventure?